Hello everyone, Don here again with the next update on War Corsair project. This week didn't get a whole lot done since it was raining from Sunday through up to Thursday morning. It was in the 40s and 50s all week long. Needless to say, I didn't get a whole lot done. But what I did do is I sent off an email to the FAA in Pittsburgh to see about getting an inspection on this thing. So, meanwhile, I did get my little silicone sheets in the mail this week. These are 11.5-inch discs. They're really thin silicone. They're pot holder pads for hot pads. So I got those put in. I ended up doing the screws like I mentioned before. I had to open up the hole a little bit, put the Tinnerman nuts in there, and now I can remove these, and the linkage for my gear door retractor is right there. And this is like a rubber, like a balloon now, so it's very soft. Should hold up well, just straight pure silicone. So I got two of those, and I was able to get two discs out of one, so I got one for something else. And the other thing I did today, just before I made this video, is I decided to go ahead and make my door access for my oil filler and check the oil. So now I can do that. I was looking around for a piece of piano hinge. I thought I had some left, but what it was the piece that I used right there on that little glove box basically. So I need 4 inches of a piece of piano hinge to put in here. Here's the piece I cut out. So I may or may not use it. If I use it, it's going to need some work where there'll probably be 2 Zeus type fasteners in here. So I may have to trim some of this backing out and do like I did on the wings. Not the wings, but where did I do the other thing? Either way, what it is putting a strip of aluminum, or it's the door access for the radiator. The hinge will be tucked back up underneath here. Probably pop riveted in place on both pieces. Then I can put a thin strip in here so it sticks out just a little bit, and then I need a piece to come across here to get to the 2 Zeus fasteners. Right now this is just kind of sitting on there. I got 1 screw up top and a couple in the front to hold it into place. So that looks good. That's got good clean access. I can get the oil and filler. And then the future wise, I'll do the same thing over here, right about here, for the water radiator. That's all full now. It's ready to go. So it's basically ready to go outside, get some gas in it, and fire it back up. But yeah, that's that door. There's what I did. I glued in some plywood strips and Tinnerman nuts. I've still got a bunch of them left. Tinnermans, they come in a pack of 50. So that's kind of all I got done this week. This weekend, as I'm sure everywhere else, was probably pretty good. It was like 70 yesterday and damn near 80 today. So I'm out here in my t-shirts and shorts again and working on the plane. I had to move some stuff out of the way to work on it. The wings are tucked over here for now. Got to do some cleaning on them, and basically I need to check. When I was working on one the other last time, one of the ends was rubbing. Yeah, like right in here it would rub. So this one I got to check that right now the push rod's hitting the floor over here. This comes around, triangulates, comes out there, so the push rod's hitting the floor. Yeah, this one here I already did. You can see right there where I had to sand it to make it clear. And this same thing is the push rod's hitting the floor. But that's where I'm at, folks. Not much done. My blast cabinet. I did get it back together and running, and then I went to use it the next day and it quit. Wouldn't work. Here the glass had got past the seals, got up into the bearings, and froze up the bearings. I don't think it actually got past the seals. I think the water can get up around here. And there's a heavy O-ring that seals into this cover, and I think it worked its way up in there and went down through that hole. So I put it all back together with 2 brand new bearings, 30 bucks. Hooked it all up, plugged it in, wouldn't work. As soon as you give it a spin, it runs fine. Unplug it, shut it off, hit it again, won't start. So I measured all the resistance on it, and the resistance for the start windings is really high. It's like couple thousand ohms, which it shouldn't be. So something might have been damaged in it. So another one bites the dust. So what I'm going to do now is the impeller. I'm just going to take this assembly here, make a cover for this, I'm going to make a shaft for that, and I'm going to hook it up to an external motor. I've got a 1-horse motor, 120 volt, 1 horse, 3400 RPM, and I'm just going to mount this onto a motor so the motor's external to the cabinet. And that'll keep the motor and the bearings from the motor out. That I can use pretty much like plastic bearings, but there's my little 1-horse motor. What I'm looking at is possibly attaching the motor just right to here, and then the shaft will go down at an angle, and that thing will have a tube on it, and I got to put a coupling on the motor, and then drive the impeller and just let the impeller be down in the water. And I'd mount it on the back side where you couldn't see it and come in at a slight angle. This is only like 15 degrees, this is 30 degrees, so this angle will be a little better, and there's plenty of room to mount this 1-horse motor. It's a heavy bugger though, and it's a 5/8 shaft, so that's kind of what I'm looking at now. I'll have to look about getting a coupling. I'll probably run a 1/2-inch shaft. I really need to get a piece of stainless steel tubing to make the shaft goes down to attach to that pump assembly, because that's all I really need is the pump down there. The motor can be mounted up higher, and then it'll make it a quick disconnect coupling there if I ever have to pull the thing out of there. But I got to figure out what I'm going to do there. So you see that today was just absolutely gorgeous out there today. Been nice to go flying. Beautiful. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this week's update. Short and sweet, not much to report on. I'll get a piece of hinge, finish up that door, get that all done, hopefully for next weekend. I did end up sending a second email off to the FSDO in Pittsburgh. I tried calling them. They got one of the damnedest computer things on there and ask you to punch in, and I just can't get to the guy I want to get to, a new guy. So I sent off another email through their website, but I sent one to the guy's personal website. Steve Steele is his name. He's with the FSDO in Pittsburgh, which is the Flight Standards office, district office in Pittsburgh, and he's a mechanic by trade. And then there's another guy, him and another guy work on, they do the FAST system, the FAAST, I believe it is, program, where they work with local general aviation folks, experimentals, guys like us, EAA chapters. So I'm trying to get a hold of him, see if he's the one that's got to come up and do the inspection. So I've got 2 separate emails into the system, and hopefully one of these days he'll get back to me. So until then, I'm just going to piddle around and tidy up what I can and get this thing ready. Like I say, I hate to take it over to the airport in case there's something that they majorly don't like that's going to require extensive work to where I have to drag it all the way back up here again. So, alright, that's going to do it this week, folks. So, as always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, like, share, subscribe, do the whole thing or not. I don't care. Alright, so I'll try to get some more done and post again next weekend. But we're running out of time, folks. Like I said, I'm not in no big hurry. This has been a long project, so whether I get a flying this year or next year, it's a horse piece to me. Alright folks, again, thanks for taking time to watch these videos, and we'll see you next weekend. For now, this is Dino Don out.